Hey everyone, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Wednesday, June 29th. Happy hump day. Hope you're well today. And in this short video, going to be doing a little bit of a different style video today. I'm going to be sharing with you my next big investment, and it has to do with an Airbnb here in Edmonton. I've never done an Airbnb before. This will be my very first one, and I'm still kind of pondering the idea. I wanted to come on, just share what I'm doing. I haven't been as active lately, and I may not be as active. I'll still be getting videos out, if not every day, but every other day. But this is something that potentially could take up a lot of my time, at least in the short term, until everything gets settled. But I'm curious if anybody has done Airbnb in the past, if you have any pros and cons or tips and tricks, things to avoid, things to look for. I would appreciate it. I really value everybody's opinions and comments. So if you could drop a comment below with anything, any kind of experience that you've had. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. Help support me. It doesn't cost you anything. You can subscribe and tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos. And I'll take a look at the video here that I posted. This was 6 months ago. So I said my next big move, looking into the condo market here in Edmonton. Ton of people who are real estate agents or just familiar with the area say stay away from condos. But when everybody and their dog is telling me that the condo market is a dead market, that's when I start to get interested, right? And I actually bought a condo downtown Edmonton, 1 bedroom, 1 bath for $70,000. And it was a crazy sale. I don't think I'm going to get anything that good. I'm actually living in the condo right now. I'm coming to you live from this condo and I absolutely love it. So you can check out that video if you want to learn more, but I know a lot of people have shown my interest in the condo market here in Edmonton. There's been a ton of reports of business people from Toronto buying property, whether it be condos or houses or different kinds of property in Calgary, and then more so Calgary, but they are looking at Edmonton as well. So there's 2 opportunities essentially. You can benefit from the price appreciation of the asset, so of the home, but you can also use some sort of passive income, right? You can have rental income if you want to rent it out. That's what a lot of business people are doing from Toronto and Calgary. And Calgary is a little bit more of a desirable place to live, right? But I really love Edmonton. We've got tons of new shows here. We got the new Rogers Place down in the Ice District, and there's tons of shows. There's Russell Peters. I went and seen him the other night on Monday. That was fantastic. There's a ton of other shows happening as well. There's Shawn Mendes, Rage Against the Machine, just to name a few, but there's an absolute ton of Rod Stewart's coming as well. So there's a ton of events happening, and I'm looking at potentially starting. I live in the condo that I have now, but I want to start an Airbnb, and I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I want to do a long-term rental, whether or not I want to buy another condo and do a lease, maybe a year lease, maybe do a 30-day month-to-month type thing, or if I want to do the Airbnb. I'm leaning toward the side of Airbnb just because of the fact that I've never done it before. I think it'd be cool, and if you set it up the right way, you can sort of automate it in a great way that, you don't have to be there physically to actually, let people in and things like that. So I'm looking into, potentially a type of PIN code, a smart lock that you can, manage from your phone. If anybody has any good recommendations for those, let me know. Again, if you have any other tips and tricks, I would appreciate it. But looking at specifically the downtown Edmonton condo market, there's not a whole lot of options here. And I really think that Airbnb is probably the best bang for your buck, right? You're probably going to get the most value out of the condo for the entire month. And, a couple weekends worth of Airbnb may actually pay for all of your utilities and the mortgage if I decide to get a mortgage. But there's a couple condos that I'm looking at. They're anywhere from $100,000 to about $140,000. And the price has been dropping for quite some time. They've been on the market for, I would say, a little over a year, somewhere around a year, 2 years. So you may be able to even swing a deal, get one for $100,000 or $120,000, and the mortgage on that would probably only be around, between $600 and $800. And then, if your utilities for the month are $300 or $400, you're looking at a little over $1,000 a month. So really, in order to get cash flow positive, all you need to do is make, a little over that. So even if you could make $2,000, $3,000 a month in Airbnb, maybe you're listening to my voice and you were wondering, if this is something you want to do. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, and maybe you can find value in this as well. Maybe this is something that you want to take advantage of. But again, I really value everybody's opinions and comments and thoughts. And if you have any pros and cons or tips and tricks for me, make sure to drop them in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation in the comments below. Also, make sure to check out my next big move here in the Edmonton condo market. And we know that inflation rates are starting to go up. So my thesis is we're likely going to see a flushing out of single family homes. Not that Edmonton's market is super overvalued anyway. It's relatively undervalued compared to the rest of Canada and the rest of North America. But one thing I think is going to happen is there was a survey done. I can't remember who it was by. I did a post on my socials that it was a survey of 1 in 4 people, 1 out of every 4 people are not going to be able to afford their mortgage payment or their house payment at some point over the next couple of years. So if that were to occur and people had to downsize, what would they be looking for? If interest rates are high, then they would look to potentially sell their $500,000 home, or maybe they're in $1 million home, right? If you're in $1 million home or somewhere between that vicinity of $500,000 and $1 million, well, an interest rate of 1 or 2% is a huge deal for you, right? And with people with less than, I think 50% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account, and the other 50% have none. Times are going to get tough, and I'm just trying to take advantage of this market while we're low. Interest rates are just going to continue to go up. And then what I think there will be is a mass exodus out of the housing market into the condo market, specifically here in Edmonton, because like I said, it's so cheap. You can get a condo anywhere from $80,000 to $150,000 up to $500,000 if you want. So there's a lot of really great opportunity. There's only 5% sales tax here in Edmonton, in Alberta as a whole. And the utility is very cheap as well. You can get a condo and all your utilities and mortgage payment, you're looking at a little over $1,000 a month. That's how much I'm paying, just a tiny bit over $1,000 a month here in my condo. And it's super cheap to live, right? And we've got, like I said, only 5% sales tax. So when you see, places where rents are going up like crazy, and all the gas and food prices, gas is actually pretty cheap here in oil country as well. So again, it's a pretty favorable spot to be, especially in these uncertain times. So that's kind of my thesis, and what I'm expecting is that sort of mass exodus out of regular single family homes into condos where people may want to downsize and not get affected by those rising crazy high interest rates, right? So again, thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. A little bit of a different style video today. Again, I would appreciate all of your comments and tips and tricks or pros and cons, any of your experiences. I really do value all of your comments. And if you could just drop a comment, I would very much appreciate it. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. If you could smash the like on your way out, I would appreciate it. And we'll see you again on the next video.